It's Pastoral Lagos, Nigeria. This is Sidon J. Omoyagba, the only Idon on Wisdom Yard Television. Although I love when I talk about myself in detail. Let me just tell you my real name. Ahmed Abbas Olasunji, that's my real name. But I know most of you like to call me Sidon J, and that's why I use that to welcome you to another edition of Let's Talk, and you know how we do it here. This is where we talk. We don't have any business here. We talk. And we don't just talk, we talk to educate, informate, and let you know some things that maybe you know and you need to know more about it. Okay, you know or you already know the sponsor for this show is Nopa Abbas and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. I'm not the only one that will be giving you some, some things today. I have in the studio with me.
I'm Ambassador Rochime Orilu, as usual now. The name changes not.
You already know it at no time.
The man will resemble Wike, or let me add that one to it.
Alright, so the last time on this show, I told you guys that we are bringing another hot topic today. Now today is another edition, and I'm bringing you guys this particular one. And this has been something that is rampant in our society, talking about marriage. I don't have much experience when it comes to marriage, but at least I was born in a marriage. And I know one or two about some marriages that I do see around me. And talking about that, that's why I have Elder on the show with me. I'm talking about for you to be able to enlighten us more on this particular topic. Now the topic is endure or divorce and on LD marriage. Sorry about that. So to me, you see, when it comes to, let me start from relationship, even before you get to marriage.
We said something about relationship last week. I want
to make a reference to the last week topic. When you are in an unhealthy relationship, a toxic relationship, to be precise.
Toxic relationship.
Yeah, the relationship whereby you see yourself, fighting, having misunderstanding, times without number, like you are not getting it correct. Like if you say A, your partner will say B. If you say C, your partner will say D. You never compromise on just one. You never agree on one issue. You just fight till your neighbor comes and try to settle you. You should have known that if you go into this marriage, it's going to cause it's going to wahala go shele for there. Now, is it good to endure in this kind of relationship that will lead to marriage? Let's now say you try to endure the relationship.
Okay.
Face. Now,
let me come in by saying, as you lay your bed, as how you are going to sleep on it, no matter what. You get what I'm saying? You understand me? So, right from the beginning, from the relationship now, you started having an argument to the extent in which you raises your hands to beat each other. My sister, my brother, why do you have to go into that marriage? Because it's not going to work. It was like a round peg inside a square hole. How is it going to work? So if anybody now comes out, for many years I've been a marriage counselor. If anybody now comes out to meet me or to tell me, seeking my advice, that right from their relationship, there was always an argument before they went into the marriage. What would I say? I would say you must be stupid of saying that.
All right, still talking about the topic, divorce or endure in an unhealthy marriage. I just want you to know that, you see, most of the marriages of nowadays, and most of the marriages I see around me, I get to know that most of them are just like, there's always a reason for them being in that marriage. Because if you ask, this is our generation, TikTok. Once we see a girl that is twerking online, shaking bum bum, you understand what I'm trying to say? That is what will attract us to that
attract
person.
The boys out there.
Exactly.
They don't know. There is an adage of Yoruba that says, "Ohun tó ń bẹ lẹ́yìn ọ̀fà, ó jèjì lọ."
But our own generation, we say, "Ohun tó ń bẹ lẹ́yìn ẹ̀fà, ó jò."
What is there at the end of that bonbon that you watch at TikTok? Is more than what you are seeing physical.
That is right to tell you that whole lofa, you understand? All right, so now, sending DM to that kind of girl, you guys are meeting up, and maybe you have a date and, trying to talk out, okay, let's be together. I want to be your boyfriend, you be my girlfriend. From there, what is exactly the point in that relationship is the bum.
There's the bum. Yes, exactly. Because you were being attracted and carried away by the emotion of that bumper that you saw.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, if The bonbon now decided to change.
To come down.
To come down. Automatically, what you saw in the first instance, before going into the marriage, is no more there. Which means what happens to the marriage will crumble.
All right, so talking about marriage, let me tell you guys, you know, if you are still courting, let's say courtship, or you are still doing boyfriend and girlfriend, or my fiancé, my fiance, you are not yet couples. But once you get married, forget it. For you to rush in, you cannot rush out.
It's a life contract.
Yes. So for you to do that kind of deal, have a deal of marriage with someone, you need to be sure of yourself that, am I sure that I'm going into this? You have to know your partner very well, because getting into an unhealthy marriage can kill. Yes.
You see, there is an adage that says, you must watch the river before diving into it. Not after, when you might have dived into the river, you start watching what is under the river. Maybe there are some broken bottles under the river, and you didn't watch before you dive into it. When you dive into it, the rest
but sir,
is left for you.
I get to know that there are some set of people, be it male or female, that before they dive into marriage, like before they go into
a marriage,
they hide their true color.
They don't
show their true behavior. It's until when they now get that person, maybe the female come into the house of the man, and the man
at the end of the day, the person
bring out their real color.
Listen to me. Let's first go into the spiritual aspect of it before we go into the physical aspect of it. In the spiritual realm, if you could recall, we all know the story of Samson and Delilah. The rules and regulation and the commandment of God upon Samson was that he must not go down to the midst of the Philistines to get married. That was the commandment. But Samson broke the rule by disobeying to God. What happened at the end of the day? He went into a toxic relationship that led to his death.
Wow.
Which means his vision and mission on earth was truncated. Now let's go to the physical aspect of it. For instance, now, according to what we said, what you saw in that man or in that woman in the initial stage of the marriage was exactly what attracts you to go into that marriage. What of if those things are no longer there? What happened? The marriage will crumble. For instance, now you said, within your adult, you know all this generation, our generation, you people's generation of nowadays. What they normally look for, most especially when we have Yahoo here and there, is that we wanted to get married to a rich guy, somebody that already has his own house and his own car.
Ready-made.
That is the flashy thing that you saw before going into the marriage. What if tomorrow the business now crumble?
Yahoo is not a business.
It's not no business. Let me call it a business. Let me call it business. Permit me to use that language now. What if the business is no longer flourishing? What happened to the marriage?
The marriage crumble.
The marriage crumble. So that is why you need to watch before you dive. In the aspect of someone trying to hide his or her own character, let me tell you, there is something we call rapport in relationship.
100. Now, sir, I need to, the rapport you mentioned now made me remember that during the time when you went on to meet your own wife, we do hear that back then, if you are going to your girlfriend's house, you have to take some stones in your hand. So by the time you get there, there is no phone, there is nothing to call your... You
have to throw. During my own period, there was an answer, there was a social media this thing.
I'm just trying to talk about the
olden days. Let me tell you, in the olden days, religions has not spread to this extent. Our forefathers then, they normally watch character. The house, they make an investigation of the kind of house that lady really came from.
The kind of behavior they have in that house. Their background check up. The kind of disease they have in that house. Can they really endure? Can they go into that marriage? What if it happens to the girl? Can they endure? Can there be any breakthrough on that kind of disease? But sir, can we say maybe because of we're not going back to how they used to do the background? In
the olden days, because you said it, that is the reason why I mentioned. Okay, now let us come to our own generation now. I said something about the spiritual aspect of it. Okay, let's say most of our viewers might not be 100% Christianity or 100% Muslim. Now let's look at the physical now. If you are going into marriage, I said something about having rapport with the kind of person that you want to really marry. You have a rapport. We've leave the spiritual aspect of it, because if we want to mention about the spiritual aspect, we may say, okay, brothers and sisters, they need to meet in their pastor's house or this and that. Okay, let's leave that one aside. Now you want to meet physical aspect of it, one-on-one. You normally goes to the lady's house,
or the
lady normally comes to your house.
On a normal day, they do that on Sunday. You do them on Sunday. Normally,
when there is a cordial relationship and rapport, when you talk to each other, from there, if you do your visibility study very well, you might have known the kind of person, no matter how hidden his character is. Before the marriage, you might have known the kind of person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Because one day, it's either the guy got angry, you know the true color of the guy.
Well, if you're just joining the live, it's Let's Talk, and this is what we do here. We talk about things that you know before and you need to know more about it. We talk to educate, to informate, to entertain, and like my fellow presenter do say when she was here and before she went on a long period holiday, Jennifer, I really missed her on this show particularly. She used to say, this is where we talk to gestimate. So now, let me say this. Let's talk about marriage now, sir. Let's leave relationship. All this our own childish relationship that we used to do.
Let's talk about marriage
taking ourselves to E3 and now let's talk about marriage now. You see, to be sincere, staying together in an unhappy marriage affects the kids negatively.
Staying
together in an unhealthy marriage affects the kids negatively.
To
me, I will urge you to leave the marriage if you see that you are not having peace in the marriage, instead of staying there and trying to have misunderstanding with your husband or your wife in the face of the kids, and it will be affecting them negatively.
Let me comment that, Sidonje, I disagree with you. That staying in an unhealthy marriage normally affects the kids. I disagree.
Okay, sir. What
there
was
is
your point?
An adage of Yoruba. Don't be offended that I'm putting this so. That says, "Ninu ofi, ninu ola, lomo pandoro dagba." You understand what I'm saying? For you to have said that staying in an unhealthy marriage normally affects the kid. Are you telling them to divorce? Have you forgotten how many religions do we have in the world? We have 3 religions.
That's the main religion in Nigeria. We have more than...
Let's say, be you Christian, Muslim, or traditional believer. Okay. I believe if you are a Christian, your marriage will be done in the church. Even if you don't have money to go to church, the pastor will still come and bless your marriage. There are some oaths, there are some guidelines, there are some rules that they are going to give you from the word of God.
That's true.
Likewise, the Muslim cleric. For better, for worse, once you marry, you cannot divorce, because God hates divorce. That's in the Christian lie. I don't know about the Muslim that they normally say,
well, in the Muslim,
we all this and that. Don't let me go there because I don't know much about that religion. Yes. But I'm talking about the religion that I know, which is the Christianity religion. Now, the pastor will come and say, marriage is for better, for worse. But the children of nowadays, your own generation will say, for better for stay, and for worse for go.
Japa. No,
Japa. It is not like that. It's against the will of God, according to the oath that you took right from the beginning of the marriage. Now, let me tell you this. Let's come to the spiritual aspect of it. Even if God comes down and say, Sidonje, this lady, Kende, is going to be your wife, that I've ordained for you. And the Lord said to Kende, Sidonje is going to be your husband. Let me tell you, one day that...
I think, sorry to cut in. I think as you're speaking, you are not speaking as if you are being directed by...
No, I'm not directed. I said let's go to the... Don't write it down. I was just trying to use your name. So at least for the audience to understand what you have said. Well, your alias is just Sidonje, Abi.
Yes,
that's not your real name. You do tell them. So let me tell you, when they now go into the marriage, I believe one day there will be an argument. There will be a disagreement in the marriage. At times we disagree to agree together. Let me tell you this. No marriage is perfect. We are all working towards perfection because the lady comes from another family, that their character is different from the character of the husband's house. So once they come together, they'll be studying themselves, look at themselves, study their character, study their behaviors.
Okay, the reason why I said it is better to live an unhealthy marriage than to be there enduring and trying to teach the children some things that they are not supposed to be exposed to. Kids learn dysfunctional parenting skills that carry on to the next generation.
Let me tell you this.
You see, what I'm trying to say is, for example,
based on
there is a misunderstanding between the husband
the violence
and
in the house, the kids might have been watching what is going on in.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So they will feel.
Now you are now saying when they leave the marriage, if they divorce from the marriage, the kid will be there, the husband or the kid will be living with the wife. With the wife of the kid. Are you
a single mother? When a single mother takes care of a child, sometimes she may later get married to another person.
That is rich.
Yes.
That is rich. That will
take care.
Rich,
that will take care of that kid more than the father.
Okay, let me come in by saying,
she will be healthy in that marriage.
I still disagree with you, because let me tell you this: even if you have a successful marriage, that the father was there, the mother was there, the kids were in between the husband and the wife, the father and the mother. Let me tell you this: at times, the kids that the father rebuked at times, it takes the grace of God for the king to stand in the face of text. Not to talk of when both of them were being separated. Nobody to checkmate the kids. You don't understand? Then I do tell people that normally comes to me for counseling. I told them, the house belongs to the woman, not the man. For instance, now, a man went out as early as possible in the morning, most especially those that live in Lagos. You know how many people that live in Songo that work in the island? They left house around 4 a.m. in the morning, come back around 11 p.m. in the night. They only spend Sundays at home. At times, they will even go to their friend's house on Sunday. The kids will be there with the wife. So are you now telling me that if there is an argument, if the wife knows that for sure this house belongs to him, she will do every possible best. Once you study your husband, that is somebody that normally has choco on his head whenever he's angry. Then what do you need to apply? You apply patience, because the Bible says, please permit me to use that language.
Yeah, no problem.
That in your patience shall they possesses your soul. Even if you want to go a long way now. Okay, now let me tell you, for instance, you are hungry now. You are hungry, you are badly hungry, you want to eat, and you want to eat rice. The rice that you will cook by yourself that you want to eat. Will you say because you are hungry, the rice, you will be eating the rice raw like that without cooking? Which means you have to exercise patience for you to bring out the best from the rice before eating. So automatically, the wife has to exercise patience for her to be able to bring the best out from our own kid.
All right, if you are just joining the live, we are still on Let's Talk. And you know, this is what we do here. We talk, and we don't just talk. We talk to educate, informate, and talk about things that you need to know. All right, sir, what you're trying to tell my viewers out there, and even me myself, is that you should endure in that marriage.
Now let me use my own house as an example. If not for God, who am I to stand? I do reckon unto him and give all appreciation to him. I came from broken home. You know, I told you my father was once a military personnel. He was one of those that fought Biafra War during the early 70s. I was born in the Civil War. Immediately he was transferred back to Lagos. 1980, 1st of January 1980, we were going to celebrate New Year with all our friends in the church. We got an accident right in that Boju market. But then we were living in Festa. 1982, 2 years interval, the house got separated.
Wahala.
My mother left. You know, I'm saying this to the whole world.
Exactly.
My mother left. My father from Lagos, we went to Akure. That was 1983. 1984, I left my father to my grandpa in the village, there in Ekiti. Now, when I was with my grandpa, when I was in Lagos, when I got to my own town in primary 6, my father came to pay a visit. He was now telling to my school. Then my teacher was now telling my father that this guy is so brilliant, that he's expecting this guy to have been in GSS2 My father said his student doesn't jump class.
So then you have to pass the normal process.
The normal process. On getting to the secondary school, when I got to GSS 1, I was still brilliant. When I got to GSS 2, the brain, the anxiety in Lagos, there to the village, nobody to checkmate me. My grandfather is a farmer. He doesn't even have time to checkmate me. Then when we come back from the school, we normally go to the farm to go and fetch firewood.
Wow.
Nobody to tell you go and take your book and read. I could remember then when I got to GSS 1, all those things that I've been able to pass through when I was in primary 4. I attended Universal Primary Education, UP School 3, then in Festac Town. What I was able to pass through in the primary 4 was what was said to us when I got to GSS 1 in Ekiti State, in secondary school. All of a sudden, there was a remark then at the end of the term from my teacher. He said, though he's very brilliant, but he is always sick.
Wow.
Before you got to know, can you imagine Sidonje? Then I learned how to go to the bush in the night to hunt for animal. Wow. When I was in primary 4.
So you turned an hunter, right?
Yes, I turned an hunter because nobody to checkmate me. My father was not there for me. My mother was not there for me.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? When I was in primary...
Your own case is not even like you are with a single parent.
Yes.
You are with your grandparents.
Grandparent.
No father, no mother.
No mother. Then in primary 4, when I was in primary 4 at Festac Town, one of my teachers called me. He said, Rotimi, go and write what you would like to become in future. I told him I like to become a doctor in future. A doctor, somebody that will become a doctor in future. How come he's now nursing a bushmeat?
You want to become a veterinary doctor, sir? You know, we have doctors.
So these are the consequences. There is always a consequence for a broken...
All this you're saying comes from the father, your mother, and your father.
Yes. So all this, normally, when two elephants fight, is the grass
that will suffer it.
Well,
thank you so much, sir, because I'm really enjoying the fact that you are backing up but I'm trying to let you know that an unhealthy marriage is still not good for someone to stay in, most especially for the women. But then before we talk about some other difficulties that can come up in some following areas for children that are in an unhealthy marriage, let's go on a short commercial break and I'll be able to read out comments because people have already dropped different comments because on this topic. Let's go on a short commercial break. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere.
For management of power.
All right, so welcome back from that short commercial break, and this is still Wisdom Yard Online TV, and you're on with me on Let's Talk. And I still have Ambassador Rilu Arutimi in the building with me because now that they carry me go where I don't know today because I never get too much experience in marriage. I never even get 1% experience because I'm not yet married, and I'm still looking at I'm looking at to go and marry in maybe I should go to Israel. Because they have ammunition, they can fight.
Okay, so the lady can even fight you when you are misbehaving in the marriage.
Not true. All right, let me quickly look at this comment section. Adebayo Kabir Adewumi says, good afternoon, brother. I greet you. Banjo Princess says, well done, sirs. Thank you so much. On this topic, the issue is what is our definition of unhealthy relationship? Well, I think Daddy has already said something about that. But let me tell you that an unhealthy relationship is a relationship whereby there is too much misunderstanding that can lead to toxic acts. So please stay away from it. Then another comment from Banjo says, not that we are not from same background or upbringing. We can't be the same 100%. Some people can't even endure or help each other get better, and in the process jumping from one partner to another.
Well, Sidonje, the person in question, why would you go into a marriage that your visibility study has not been done?
Yeah, your own work. You didn't do your own work.
You didn't do your own work. Automatically, it is it is what you let me say it is what you love that kills you in the unhealthy marriage that you went into. Why would I, you see, let me tell you this. I could remember when I wanted to get married. I was in the choir stuff then. There was a lady in the choir stuff.
That you're falling in love with?
That I fell in love with.
Did she fall in love with you?
Yes, she fell in love with
100,
me. 100 now, 100, yes. Then I went back home in Akure then to go and tell my father. That is why at times you must not do things from your own wisdom alone.
You have to seek the word from
you have to
elders.
seek a word of advice from your elderly ones that are into it, that can teach you, that can guide you through. Because marriage is like you buying a TV without the manual.
It's not possible.
Once you have the manual, you quickly go into the manual. The manual will now teach you or direct you to how you are going to operate the TV. So I went back home then, I told my father, this is what is going on. I found a lady that I fell in love with. My father said, okay, no problem. Daddy, will only give me a word. I said, what's the word? He said, Tobaku die ki omo Olorun ko se. What does the Bible say? I said, I don't know. He said, Manamana ma ko. Yes, he said, no problem. I don't want to discourage you. Go ahead. My father was there in Akure praying that I should not miss marriage. I should not miss marriage. My mother also was there praying that she needed somebody for my life that is going to give me comfort. Not somebody that will enter a vehicle from Ibadan that we are going to Lagos that will not be able to get to our destination.
That's interesting.
Because it's a life contract.
So with the fact that, you were talking about the separation of daddy and mommy, and did they later come back together?
They didn't come back.
So even with that, they still support your marriage, like?
Yes, because I'm always with them.
Wow.
There's nothing I do that I will not tell them. I need an elderly advice. What led to their downfall in marriage must not let to my downfall happen to me. For even, you see, our children of nowadays, I don't know the reason why they believe they have the knowledge of their own. That
it's technology, sir. Let me just tell you the truth.
Forget about technology. That is the reason why you see the world falling apart today.
Exactly, because once they watch movies, all these
let them go and face the consequence. You see, there is a danger in creating a monster. Because one day the monster will gradually turn back to his owner.
I saw a girl calling his boyfriend shouting on phone. I was not asking her that, what's up? She's in secondary school. Let me say, maybe she's in 100 level or so. She was now shouting that this boy, she does not know how to love someone. I was not asking her that, okay, what is the problem? She said since they have been dating, the guy never buy her flower before. Even on Valentine's Day, he didn't buy flower for her. I said, what do you want to eat flower?
That's the foundation of our own marriage. She has laid the foundation. You build on what you lay. You build on the foundation you laid. Now, back to my story. A day before the introduction, my father came, my mother came, my stepmother was there. My younger brothers and sisters came. A day before the introduction, the lady left.
Wow.
You don't understand. Being a human being, it pains me to my marrow. You know, when there is a pain in your marrow, you know how you feel. My father now called me. When I told him, he said, the lady has left you. He now called me back to where the time I came to Akure. He said, when you came to report this issue to me, what did I tell you? I said, you told me that Tobaku die come along kose monomana. I said, this is the light.
That is the monomana.
That's the monomana that you are seeing.
Well, still in the comment section, I think you guys are trying to learn one or two from this. Before you now say they didn't tell you before you enter that unhealthy marriage. All right, here, someone said, Oroluwa Foyin said, now to divorce because unhealthy marriage can lead to untimely death.
Well, for you to have said not to divorce, it is what you have used your money to go and buy. When you get to the market, you want to buy kote or you want to buy shower or you want to buy Titus. If you now buy, instead of you to buy Titus, you bought shower. So if those bones now happen to turn back and injure you,
you now be blaming
in the
yourself.
process of swallowing it, depends on you. It is what you bought with your money.
Wow. Well, another comment says, let's not forget that some people hide their true character before marriage. I think we've talked about that. And Dija says, this is an interesting topic. Banjo now said, some parents are not helping also. In as much as the partner is taking care of other person, they will say the woman or man should endure. Hey.
Listen to me. I said it. You see, marriage journey is not the journey that you can just leap on, or you can just start by saying, I want to go into marriage. You see many children of nowadays. Well, if once
they are thinking about that one day.
Once,
marriage is
one day. Let me tell you this. Most especially you men, you want to be served, you cross your leg on the table, everything ends on the marriage day, that night of marriage. You want to say, honey, where is my food? Everything ends.
On the day of the wedding.
On the day of the wedding.
So they don't know the difference. Some don't know the difference between wedding and marriage. Wedding and one night.
This guy, I want to sleep with her by force. Everything ends on that day of your marriage. After it, what happened? So that is why you have to do your visibility study very well. So people will not be counting on you. Don't mind that. Anybody that wants to come to you will even say, they'll be telling that person, you don't know that lady.
Well, so did you say an unhealthy marriage can kill you? Best is to leave. Another person says, sir, some people will hide no matter how you get to know their character, just because they want to marry the person, since no one will marry them. I think this person is speaking sense.
Okay, now let's go back to the olden days.
Okay.
Let's go back. We said it. You want to marry somebody, and willingly from the bottom of your heart, you don't want to marry. From the bottom of your heart. The person you want to get married to at the earlier stage of your life is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with.
100.
There are some steps that needs to be taken. You have your mother out there. You have your father out there. Even though you don't longer have a parent, you might have somebody who is...
There will be uncle and aunties in your family, extended family. Yes.
That can help you based on their own experience to do some research, visibility study. Now, listen. In America, maybe I travel to America now.
Okay.
My wife is here in Nigeria. I wanted to get married to somebody in America.
Sorry, sir. I think you have a caller. Hello. This is Sidon J. Who am I speaking with?
Banjo as usual now.
I know your voice. Even Ambassador knows your voice already. Why are you laughing? Is it funny? All right, so you are on Let's Talk, and I saw your comments, and you know the topic we are treating today. So what can you say? Are you supporting Ambassador, or you are backing me? Because me, I said being in an unhealthy marriage is dangerous, that you should leave. Okay. Okay, go on. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So now you are talking out of experience. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. We are going to answer. I think I'm not in the right position to answer your question because I don't have experience. Okay, we'll answer it.
You are directing the question to me. I don't even hear what she said though.
All right, thank you so much, Banjo, for calling in. All right, no wahala. We deal with you 100.
What she said?
All right, this is what she's trying to say. She said, even after doing your feasibility study and you getting to know the kind of person you are getting married to, and even after that, in the marriage, let's say you've already entered the marriage and you get to know that this man has changed again. Is it normal for you to still stay in that unhealthy marriage, or you should leave just to save your life? And
You
again,
see?
she talked about the children that she has someone that is in that shoe, that what his father is doing for the mother then in the marriage is still in his head, and he's practicing it in the later on. Even when he wanted to have his own relationship too, he was actually acting like his father.
Let me come in. You know, I said it at the earlier stage that as you lay your bed, that's how you are going to sleep into it, on it. There is no perfect marriage. I want you to know that. If you have that at the bottom of your heart, you will not have problem while you are going along the road. Now, let me give you a story of the prodigal son. What was the ministry of the prodigal son? Father, give. Father, give. Give me my portion. Give me my portion. At the end of the day, after collecting the resources, the Bible said he traveled afar and joined himself with the rioters. There he squandered everything. Because he was not given the knowledge how to handle, how to manage the resources. So once you don't have the knowledge to handle the marriage, it will be so difficult for you to endure in the marriage. But once you have the knowledge, the skill, how to handle, because I do tell them, most especially the women, that you are the owner of your house. No matter what, you don't expect a man to keep quiet for you. Except if the man is being brought up
by a female
from a good home.
Okay.
That the man will learn how to keep quiet in marriage.
That's another knowledge.
At times, whenever my wife and I is having a disagreement, I always learn to keep quiet.
Because it is good to keep
because quiet. What happened to my own father, I don't pray that it should happen to me. At times when I'm talking to my wife will keep quiet.
Even your wife is now learning from your keeping quiet.
From my keeping quiet. I could remember my last birthday. She said something that all what she become today, that she's always in the mood of talking whenever she's angry. But I was the one that taught her how to keep quiet.
Well, I think I'm not the only one learning here today. I know you guys are learning one or two out of all these tips that is being given to you freely.
So if you really want to achieve a successful marriage, there are some lessons that needed to be taught. There are some things that you need to learn, because it's a journey of no return, and it's a journey in which you have never embarked on before.
Well, thank you so much. Let's quickly run on this comment on Facebook.
The second question. What was the second question?
He was actually talking about, she was talking about, okay, before I talk about, let me pick this call. You have another caller. Hello? Hello? Hello, this is Sidon J on WYTV. Who am I on with? Good afternoon. What's the name? Okay, please.
Calling from where?
Magodo. Yeah, you're welcome on the show. That yes, she went viral. Yes. Hmm.
And she ignored the red flag while they were
In the marriage.
journey of relationship.
Hmm.
Understand? You know, before such act would happen, the red flag would have been there before they seal the marriage. You understand?
Hmm.
We ignore so many red flags because of love or religion or we don't have love.
Hmm. Well, I think I understand your point here that enduring in an unhealthy marriage is not going to be the best than to leave. Hmm.
Tell him to be on the line. I will reply him. I will reply him.
Thank you so much, my brother from Magodo. We really appreciate your contribution.
Now, let me come in. The story of the lady he just mentioned.
Yes.
The lady was the cause of her death.
How, sir?
Thank you. They have a spiritual father. They belong to a church. Isn't it? But she always learned to be quiet.
Okay, what if in the process
I'm coming.
she wanted to... Sir, sorry. What if in the process you wanted to, like, you know,
listen
talk
to me.
someone,
I'm coming.
and the husband said,
I'm
if
coming.
I should hear
Listen, I'm coming. Let me land.
Okay, sir.
Let me land. Adembi, she have consulted a spiritual father in the Lord. I believe some of these cases might have been settled.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the man will not want the spiritual father, their spiritual father, to know the kind of character or the behavior she was, the way she was acting at home. You don't understand what I'm saying? She kept quiet. That's why your brother says, "Tabadake, tarainia banidake." You remember a case of Bartholomew. The man was only blind, but he was not dumb. We have many sick people that are there. When Jesus Christ was passing by, please permit me to use that one. He only heard, but he did not see. Then he started shouting, "Son of David, have mercy on me." They tried to calm him down. What did he do? He cried a loud voice again. Then Jesus Christ has passed by before coming back to him. "What do you want me to do for you?" He said, "That I might regain my sight." Because the lady kept quiet. That is why she died suddenly.
All right, sir. What I'm trying to say, you know, there are some marriages that they've already have it like husband and wife talk. Like, okay, you see, you know, there are some wives that they respect their husband so well to the extent that if the husband says sit, they will sit. Maybe the husband told her that I don't want, if I should hear anything that I used to beat you.
I told you, you know, I said it at the earlier stage. She was the one that killed herself. In the sense that there are some things, it will get to a state that you can no longer bear it. That you needed somebody to report. See, Donje, have you ever seen you don't have any trouble, you don't have anything within you? At least, at times you feel like talking to somebody.
Yes, I talk to
loneliness, what happened? They say loneliness kills.
Yeah,
even if there is no problem, you don't have any problem, you don't have any worry that is going on within you, you still need somebody that you need to talk to. Exactly. At least to free some certain things out from your system. Yeah, not to talk of when you are going through a difficult time. What was the Bible said? He said, "Call unto me and I will answer you." Automatically, you are saying, "God, you are my creator. You know that I needed money." And you didn't tell him you needed money. Do you think he's going to provide when you didn't ask
money
him?
Cannot come down.
It will not come down.
All right, Toyosi says some blindfolded and dumb people for the sake of love and material things will want to endure even at the detriment of their own death. Yes, that is exactly what we are still saying.
But she said something there. Even the Bible says, "Heaven help those who help themselves." Okay. Because you did not help yourself at the initial stage.
Exactly.
That is why heaven is not helping you when there is a problem in the marriage.
Exactly. All right. I will not be able to read the old comments, and don't worry. Maybe next week we are still going to talk about this topic because our time is not on our side at all. My name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji, but you can call me Sidon J Omoyagba. The only Idon on Wisdom Yard Television. Any other Idon is a counterfeit. You already know that. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for
Let me give them a word of advice.
Okay.
Watch the river before you dive into it.
100. They know. See that advice. That one phrase. If you don't keep them, now you know. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you could try to put light in some darkness and that is in our mind as youth, even for some other people that are in a marriage now that you're feeling like you don't have anybody to talk to. Please summon your courage. Talk to someone about the toxic that is going on in your relation, in your marriage, because you know what's up. to Osinachi. Alright, so we'll see you again on another edition of Let's Talk. Don't forget that the sponsor for this show is Nokpa Abbas and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. Take care of yourself, be good, and enjoy the rest of your weekend with your guy and with your babe.